First Advantage is pleased to present our electronic chain of custody forms that replace and streamline the paper chain of custody forms process. In this training video, you'll learn how to use our electronic chain of custody form, or ECCF, when administering a lab-based oral fluid specimen collection. Before we begin, here are a couple of useful features. First is the Help button at the top right. If you need any guidance during the collection process, click here. The help instructions that appear here are customizable by client. There is also a Stop Collection button that will close the application. Use this if the donor refuses the test or needs to stop the collection for any reason. Note that if you click Yes here, the information you've entered will not be saved. The first step in the lab-based testing process is to positively identify the donor in person. The ECCF application displays two options for verifying an identity: the donor's ID, or by entering the name of someone within the company who has verified the donor's identity, such as a manager. Select the appropriate option and click Next. The next step is specimen collection. Instructions for this in ECCF are conveniently listed on the page for the chosen collection device, along with a timer. To begin the collection process, ensure that the donor's mouth is empty of any gum, food, or tobacco. Make sure they have not had anything to eat or drink at least 10 minutes prior to the collection. Have the donor select an oral fluid collection system and hand it to you. Inspect the packaging, checking the expiration date. Verify there are no signs of moisture or leakage and that the device has not been tampered with. Peel open the package for the donor to remove the oral fluid collector by the handle only. If the collection pad comes in contact with anything other than the donor's mouth, it should be discarded and a new one used. Instruct the donor to place the device into their mouth. The collection pad should be between the lower cheek and gum. When the device is correctly placed in the donor's mouth, start the timer in the ECCF application. The countdown timer is device-dependent and will vary with different collection systems. In this example, an adequate sample collection takes up to 10 minutes. When the oral fluid collector shows an adequate sample has been collected, or after 10 minutes have passed, depending on the device, have the donor remove it from their mouth. Next, it's time to seal the specimen in the oral fluid collection tube. Remove the tube from the package and hand it to the donor. Instruct them to hold the tube upright, flip open the lid, and guide the pad into the opened tube. With the collection pad in the tube, instruct the donor to place their thumb on the ridges of the device handle and slide the pad forward to detach the pad from the handle and into the tube. Then, have the donor replace the collection tube lid and cap it tightly. If something unusual outside of the normal testing process occurs, there is a place to note that in ECCF. Note that if you select Yes here, you must enter a comment in order to continue. After the oral fluid specimen has been collected, it's time to enter the specimen ID number in ECCF. Remove the top page from the label pod. Click the Next button for the screen to enter the specimen ID number from the collection device used for this collection. For information on how to find the specimen number, click the View Sample hyperlink. Then, remove the tamper evidence seal from the label pod. Place the circle reading Place over Cap across the top of the specimen tube and down the sides. Make sure the seal adheres tightly to the tube. Date the seal and have the donor initial it after the tube has been sealed. In ECCF, check the box that confirms the container has been sealed, dated, and donor initialed, and then click Next. Here, the donor will be prompted to sign their name using the mouse. If the donor wants a copy of the chain of custody form, they can choose whether they want it printed or emailed to them. After the donor has signed and indicated whether they want a copy, click the Next button. Here, sign your own name in the box and click Finish. You will then see a prompt to submit the information you've entered up to this point. To proceed, click the Submit button. Note that after submitting the information here, it cannot be changed. If errors are found after clicking the Submit button, you will need to repeat the entire collection process. Now that the digital chain of custody is complete, you have the option to print out the donor copy of the chain of custody form if the donor indicated they wanted a printed copy. Hand a copy to the donor. To prepare the specimen for transport, slide the sealed tube containing the sample into the smaller front pocket of the specimen transportation bag. Expose the adhesive and seal the bag tightly along the striped black line. Once the specimen has been sealed in the specimen transportation bag, it is ready to be shipped to the testing laboratory. Make sure only one specimen is sealed into the bag, unless collecting a split specimen. However, numerous transportation bags can be bundled into a single shipping container. After processing the lab-based oral fluid specimen, the lab will report the results to First Advantage and the customer.